Have you ever felt completely lost, like you're walking through a thick, endless fog, a profound sense of meaninglessness where everything that once brought you joy now feels empty and hollow? It's a heavy, isolating place to be. Many of us immediately label this feeling as depression, and for many that diagnosis is accurate and requires professional help. But what if there's another possibility? What if what you're experiencing is something ancient, something spiritual, known as the dark night of the soul? Today, we're going to explore the crucial differences between clinical depression and the dark night of the soul. This is a very sensitive topic, so let me be crystal clear from the start. If you are struggling with intense sadness, loss of interest, or thoughts of harming yourself, it is absolutely essential to seek help from a qualified mental health professional. Clinical depression is a serious medical condition that requires and deserves proper treatment and support. There is no shame in seeking help. It's a sign of strength. This video is for educational and contemplative purposes, not a substitute for professional medical advice. So, what exactly is the difference? Let's start with clinical depression. Depression often manifests as a persistent low mood, a loss of interest or pleasure in activities, changes in sleep or appetite, fatigue, and feelings of worthlessness. It can feel like a heavy gray blanket has been thrown over your entire life, muffling everything. The focus is often on a sense of personal lack or failure, a feeling that you are broken or not good enough. It is a state of being stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts and emotions that can feel impossible to escape without intervention. The dark night of the soul, on the other hand, while sharing some surface-level similarities like sadness and a sense of isolation, stems from a different place. It's not about a chemical imbalance or psychological trauma in the same way. It's a spiritual process. This concept, originally described by the 16th century mystic Saint John of the Cross, is a stage in a spiritual journey. It's a period where you lose your old sense of self, your connection to the divine or your purpose, and you feel completely abandoned. Think of it this way. In depression, you might feel like you've lost yourself. In a dark night of the soul, you are actively losing the self you thought you were, your ego. This is the key distinction. Depression often feels like a stagnation, a dead end. The dark night of the soul, as painful as it is a passage. It's a transitional phase. It's not the destination. It's the tunnel you have to go through to get to the other side. The pain of the dark night comes from a deep existential questioning. You start to see through the illusions of your life. The job that defined you, the relationships that propped up your identity, the beliefs you held without question, they all start to crumble. It's not that you've lost interest, it's that they no longer hold any real meaning. You're questioning the very foundation of your reality. Who am I without my career? Who am I without my social status? Who am I without these beliefs? This can be terrifying because the ego, the part of us that loves security and identity, is fighting for its life. This process is a kind of spiritual purification. It's the soul's way of saying, the life you've built is too small for who you are becoming. It's a calling to shed the layers of conditioning, expectations, and false identities that you've accumulated over your lifetime. Imagine you're a snake shedding its skin. It's an uncomfortable, vulnerable process, but it's necessary for growth. The old skin has become too tight, too restrictive. So, how can you discern which you might be experiencing? One clue lies in the nature of your questioning. With depression, the questions are often self-deprecating. What's wrong with me? Why can't I be happy? The focus is on personal failure. In the dark night, the questions are more existential and universal. What is the point of all this? What is true? What is my real purpose? It's a search for a deeper truth, not just a return to a previous state of normal. Another sign is a subtle, underlying sense of awareness. Even in the deepest darkness of the dark night, there's often a tiny flickering flame of consciousness, a witness that knows something profound is happening. There's a sense that this deconstruction is purposeful, even if you can't see the purpose yet. It feels less like a breakdown and more like a breakthrough in slow motion. You might find yourself drawn to spiritual texts, meditation, or solitude, not to escape the pain, but to understand it. The journey through the dark night is not about trying to fix yourself or get back to who you were. It's about surrender. It's about allowing the old self to die. This is the hardest part. Our society tells us to constantly be productive, to achieve, to build our identity. The dark night asks you to do the opposite, to let go, to be still, to allow yourself to be unmade. It's a process of emptying out. You're clearing out the inner space that was once filled with egoic desires and societal programming. And in that emptiness, something new has the space to be born. This is where the transformation happens. As the ego's grip weakens, you begin to connect with a deeper part of yourself, your soul, your true essence, your higher self. You start to find joy not in external achievements, but in simple presence. A sunset, the sound of rain, a moment of quiet connection with another person. These things take on a profound beauty that was previously invisible. Your sense of purpose shifts from doing to being. You realize your worth isn't tied to your accomplishments but is inherent to your existence. This is the calling of your soul. It's calling you home to your authentic self. The dark night is the soul's loving, albeit painful, way of guiding you back onto your true path. It strips away everything that is not you, so that what remains is pure, authentic, and free. If you resonate with this description of the dark night, The path forward is one of radical self-compassion and trust. Trust the process. Allow yourself to feel the grief of the life and the self you are leaving behind. Be patient. This isn't a race. There is no timeline for this kind of deep soul work. Seek out community with others who understand this journey, but also cherish your solitude. It's in the quiet moments that you can hear the whispers of your soul. And remember, it's also possible to experience both depression and a dark night of the soul at the same time. They are not mutually exclusive. The stress of a spiritual crisis can certainly trigger a depressive episode. That's why it's so important to be gentle with yourself and get support on all levels, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Find a therapist who is open to spiritual conversations. Find a spiritual guide or mentor who understands these states of consciousness. The darkness is not the end. It is the womb from which a new, more authentic life is born. It's a sacred and profound journey of returning to the truth of who you are. The pain is real, but so is the promise of the dawn that follows. You are not broken. You are becoming. Thank you for joining me in this deep conversation. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on conscious living and spiritual growth. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Take care, and be kind to yourself on the journey.